dl, ds and dv for spherical coordinate also. Spherical coordinate system. So here we are having two variations of angle. One is r, one is theta and one is phi. So the differential length due to this is dr. Similarly theta. So here if you consider the cylinder, the coordinate system x, y, z. So this is r, this is theta, this is rho, this is phi, this is z. Right. So theta is making an angle with respect to r. So the length due to theta is r d theta. Similarly, phi is making an angle with respect to rho. So the length due to phi is rho d phi, the arc length. Therefore, r will generate a small length dr, theta will generate a small length r d theta, phi will generate rho d phi. Rho is equal to, we know, rho is equal to r sin theta. Rho is equal to r sin theta, we know. So rho is equal to r sin theta. So it will generate r sin theta d phi differential length. So these are the lengths, nothing but if you take a small piece of the spherical surface, so these are the differential lengths because of r, theta and phi. That is in all three directions. In all three directions, that is in the coordinate system. Therefore, the first one, differential length. Differential length. Differential length dl is equal to, very simple, nothing but dr ar bar plus r d theta a theta plus r sin theta d phi a phi. So this is the differential length. Next one is surface element, differential surface. Differential surface ds. So ds equal to multiplication of 2, that is r dr d theta, r dr d theta. So in what is the normal direction? A phi, that is equal to r sin theta dr d phi. Normal direction is a theta, that is also equal to r square sin theta d theta d phi ar bar. So depending upon the plane, so we have to use any one of the differential surface. So these are the three differential surface elements possible. Third one is differential volume. Differential volume. Differential volume. So differential volume dV is equal to multiplication of 3 r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. This is the differential volume of spherical coordinate system. That is, whenever we are solving a problem of a spherical coordinate system, so we have to use this differential volume. Volume as r square sin theta dr theta d phi. So this is very, very important. So remembering, there is no need to remember all these things. Just with the help of simple logic, you can easily remember the differential length, the differential surface and the differential volume of any coordinate system very easily. Now we will discuss some basic operators in electromagnetics, what we are using. Basic operators. The first one is del operator. Del operator. The symbol is like this, del. This is one of the important symbols. So it is defined as, that is we can define it as a del is a vector differential operator. Vector differential operator. Vector differential operator defined as del is equal to dou by dou x ax bar plus dou by dou y ay bar plus dou by dou z az bar. So this is the definition of del. That is, if you observe here, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. That is, if you operate this del on any quantity, it will give variation of the quantity, variation of the quantity with respect to space. That is, variation of that particular quantity in space in x direction, variation of the quantity in y direction in space, variation of the quantity in z direction in free space. So this is the physical significance of del operator. So this is also known as, this del operator is also known as gradient operator. Del is also known as gradient operator. Gradient operator. Generally, this del operator is used to operate on scalar quantities. That is, if you operate this del operator on a scalar, we will get a vector. The resultant is a vector. Suppose scalar quantity temperature. So I am operating, V is a temperature, T is a temperature. T is, suppose the quantity T is temperature. Suppose the del T, I am operating on del T. That is dou by dou x of T along ax plus dou by dou y of T ay plus dou by dou z of T az. T is a temperature which is a function of x, y, z. So the variation of the temperature along x, the variation of the temperature along y, the variation of the temperature along z is nothing but a gradient. Gradient of a scalar. So this is the significance of del operator. Which is mainly used to operate on a scalar quantities. Then it becomes a vector. If you operate del operator on a scalar, it becomes a vector. So here del is equal to dou by dou x ax plus dou by dou y ay plus dou by dou z az. It is in Cartesian coordinate system. Suppose if I can define del in remaining also, that is cylindrical and spherical coordinate system. So del is equal to, here in terms of x, y, z. So dou by dou x ax, dou by dou y ay plus dou by dou z az. Similarly, cylindrical means rho phi z. So because of rho, d by d rho a rho plus phi. What is the arc length of phi? Because of phi, it will generate a differential length of rho d phi. So here 1 by rho dou by dou phi a phi plus dou by dou z az. So if you can remember logically like this. Similarly, r theta phi in spherical coordinates. So this is the dr, d theta, r d theta, phi, r sin theta, d phi, r sin theta, d phi. These are the differential lengths because of theta and phi. This is r d theta. So del is defined as, in spherical coordinate system, dou by dou r ar plus, you can expect 1 by r, dou by dou theta a theta plus 1 by r sin theta dou by dou phi a phi. So like this you can easily remember del operator in cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. So this is the easy way to remember. That's why if you remember the arc lengths, that is a differential lengths of three coordinate systems, you can easily remember all the formulas in a logical way. So this is one of the standard way to one of the thumb rule to easily remember. This is not a standard one. Just a thumb rule to easily remember, because in our examination point of view we need the formulas. So this is one of the best way to remember the formulas. So this is a gradient operator or del operator. Here I am giving some properties of del operator. Properties of del operator. First one is del of v plus u equal to del v plus del u. Second one is del of v into u equal to v into del u plus u into del v. Third one, del of v by u is equal to u into del v minus v into del u by u square. Fourth one is del of v power n is equal to n into v power n minus 1 del v. These are some properties where u and v are scalars and n is an integer So these are some basic properties of del. We will work out a problem based on this del operator. The problem is very simple. Find the gradient of following scalar fields. The first one is v is equal to e power minus z sin 2x cos hyperbolic y. So this is a scalar field given. So calculate gradient. Since it is in terms of x and y z, the solution is very simple. It is in terms of x comma y comma z. So we have to operate the Cartesian coordinate system del. So del is equal to dou v by dou x ax bar plus dou v by dou y ay bar plus dou v by dou z az bar. So dou by dou x. So when you are differentiating with respect to x, remaining two y and z are constant. So here e power minus z and cos hy are constant. So here dou by dou x of sin x. So sin 2x is nothing but dou by dou x of sin 2x is nothing but 2 cos 2x. So that is nothing but 2 into e power minus z as it is sin 2x cos 2x cos hy ax bar plus dou by dou y. Dou by dou y means e power minus z sin 2x common cos hyperbolic y is nothing but sin hyperbolic y ay bar. Dou by dou z with respect to z means sin 2x cos hy common. So this is nothing but dou by dou z of e power minus z minus e power minus z sin 2x cos hy az bar. So like this you can calculate easily the gradient. Suppose if they ask at a particular point, that is suppose x, y, z 1, 2, 3, then substitute the values and calculate the corresponding gradient. This is del V. Second problem is U is equal to rho square Z cos phi. Rho square Z cos 2 phi. Cos 2 phi. So what is the gradient? So just use this formula. So since it is in terms of rho phi Z, we have to use cylindrical coordinate. That is del is equal to del U is equal to dou by dou rho of U a rho plus 1 by rho dou by dou phi U a phi plus dou by dou Z a Z U. So if you calculate this, you will get answer as calculate and verify your answer. You will get rho phi Z cos 2 phi a rho minus 2 rho Z sin 2 phi a phi plus rho square cos 2 phi a Z. So this is the answer. So just differentiate and verify your answer. So like this we can we can calculate gradient. The only thing is you have to remember the formula. Suppose I am giving for exercise 1 problem. Exercise 1. So W is equal to 10 R square. Sorry, 10 R sin square theta cos phi. Sin square theta cos phi. So what is the gradient? Calculate gradient. That is equal to how much? So just do this one. Next one, the second basic operator is divergence of a vector. Divergence of a vector theorem. Divergence of a vector or divergence theorem. This is the second basic operator. Suppose it is given by del dot a bar. Del dot a bar. Before discussing the divergence concept, we will discuss about some important integrals: line, surface, and volume integrals. Line, surface, and volume integrals. So we will discuss what is the line integral and what is surface integral and what is volume integral. First of all, I am going for line integral. So all these basic concepts are needed for analysis of a electromagnetic problem clearly. So line integral, suppose I am considering coordinate system x, y, z. A vector field exists in the free space. A vector field exists in free space like this. Entire space, free space, a vector field is there. A vector field a bar, suppose the vector field is a bar. Some field exists, vector field. Field is nothing but distribution of the quantity. So like this, the field exists. Suppose I am taking a path like this. I am taking a particular path. Suppose this is a point P1. Suppose this is point P2. I am moving along path P1 to P2. So this is some small differential length. Small differential length dl. I am taking a small differential length dl. Then the line integral of the vector field A is given by the line integral is equal to as I am moving from point P1 to point P2 a bar dot dl. So this is the line integral. Suppose the line is closed. The field is similar like this. The entire field is like this. This is a bar. The field exists like this. This is x, y, z. This is x, y, z. So the field exists along the free space, vector field a bar. Then suppose if I move like this. That is, I am starting at this particular point and again I am reaching. This is point P1. Again point P2 also same thing. So I am moving like this. So I am moving along a line. Then it is known as, I can integrate, the line integral is defined as integration over closed line. So this circle represents closed line. A bar dot dl. This one, the first one is called open contour integration. The second one is called closed contour integration. It is also called as this closed contour integration. This closed contour integration is also called as circulation of a bar around closed path. So the closed contour integration, that is integration over closed contour C. A bar dot dl is also called as circulation of a bar around closed path, because this is nothing but the field crossing the closed line. So the circulation of the field around the closed path. The circulation of the field around the closed path is also indicated by integration over C a bar dot dl. So this is called line integral. Suppose the circulation of a vector along a closed line, that is integral of closed contour C a bar dot dl. If this value is equal to 0, if integration over closed contour a bar dot dl is equal to 0, that is a vector field whose circulation around any arbitrary closed path is 0. That is, if the circulation of the field around any closed arbitrary path is 0, then it is called conservative field. Or restoring field. Conservative field or restoring field. That is, for a conservative field, integration over C, A bar dot dl is equal to 0. A bar dot dl is equal to 0. We can explain this with the help of a best example. Suppose the vector field is force. The vector field is force. That is, suppose the vector field is force. Example, vector field is force. Vector field is force. Then integration over square path f dot dl. That is f bar dot dl. So the line integral represents f dot dl is nothing but obviously this represents work. This represents work. That is a conservative field. That is integration C f bar dot dl is equal to 0 here. If that is the conservative field, f is a conservative field. So a conservative field in this case means the total net resultant work. The total net resultant work is done by the field against the field. So here a conservative field means the total net resultant work done is 0. Resulted work is 0, or the work done against the field on any closed path is 0. The work done against the field on any closed path is 0. So that is a physical meaning of conservative field. Conservative field. That is we can say in simple way, energy is neither suppose you are considering neither energy cannot be created. That is, the energy is neither created nor destroyed. Same formula. Here also conservative means same thing. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Here also the total resultant work done is 0, or the work done against the field is 0. That is the meaning of conservativeness here.